Rural Heritage on RFD TV is brought to you by Rural Heritage Magazine, a bi-monthly magazine featuring articles about farming and logging with draft animal power, small-scale diversified family farming and homesteading, and other aspects of our rich rural heritage. Rural Heritage Magazine, borrowing from yesterday to do the work of today. For subscription information, please call 319-362-3027 or order online at www.ruralheritage.com. Hi, I'm Joe Mishka with another episode of Rural Heritage TV. Earlier this year, we visited Carrey Burnett's farm for his annual Brush Creek Spring Plow Day in Melber, Kentucky. It had been raining the days before the event, so the ground was wet, but improved as the day went on. We filmed the horses and mules on walking and sulky plows and spent some time visiting with a few of the teamsters there. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Come. Come on. Move. Danny, step over. Joe, Charlie, come over. Oh. Yep. Yep. Come on. Get in there, Charlie. Go, go. Wanted to see water running in the furrow, now I can see it.
My name is Lucas Goodman. I live in Hickman, Kentucky.
Did you grow up there in Hickman?
I did. I've lived there my entire life. The only time I've ever been away is during college and graduate school.
Okay. All right. What'd you study?
I studied agricultural economics.
Great. That's pretty handy.
Yes, sir.
So you grew up on a farm?
Correct.
Go ahead.
My grandfather began farming, and then my dad and his brothers took over, and now I'm part of the farm operation.
So let's go all the way back to your grandpa. How did it get started?
He came here from a rural town in West Tennessee to pick cotton by hand in the late 20s, and that's how poor they were. And when he passed away, he was farming over 7,000 acres, which is a lot to accomplish in a lifetime. He stopped growing cotton in the late 70s, and we had a small cattle herd in the 80s and the 90s, and now we're just strictly row crops, corn, soybeans, and wheat. We're working about a couple thousand acres nowadays, just my dad and I. I have a few horses for that are just saddle horses that I ride and trail ride. I don't have any heavy horses, but I come to events like these because I'm interested in that and may want to someday.
You've got 3 children?
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
they all came with me today. My oldest is 7, and I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and my wife came as well.
Your children are energetic.
Very much, yes. It's really fun around our place.
It's good to have a farm when you've got energetic kids.
Absolutely, and we live on the farm, and we love it out there. No neighbors, and so we have to survive off of each other and doing our thing that way.
And how did you hear about this event here?
On social media, on Facebook, and also from the magazine and the TV show.
Okay, all right. And is this your first time to this event?
This is my first time to this event or any event like this.
Very
Everyone has been so kind and welcoming so far, and I've enjoyed it immensely. My grandfather plowed with horses and mules in the early days, and I was told the first time he laid eyes on a tractor, he said, "I've got to get one of those." And of course, I grew up with all the big farm equipment and everything, seeing it show up to our farm. And actually, the first time I ever saw a team of horses or mules, I thought, I want to get some of those.
We now have 4 volumes of America's Rural Yesterday books with photos of farm life 100 years ago. Fieldwork has images of horses in the fields working the ground, planting and harvesting the crop. Barn and Farmyard shows farmers putting that crop in the barn, silo, or corn crib and caring for poultry, hogs, cattle, and more. In At Home and in Town, farm families prepare Sunday dinner, relax in the parlor, drive to town by buggy or wagon, and visit the general store. Finally, Early Tractors has over 250 photos of early American tractors like Alice Chalmers, Oliver, John Deere, Farmall, Minneapolis Moline, and many more. These photos are of new tractors back in the day and show how they were configured coming out of the factory. Buy any of these books for $24.95 plus shipping. When you buy 2 or more, the price per book goes down, all the way to $17.49 per book when you buy all 4. To order, just call 1-877-647-2452 or order online at www.ruralheritage.com. That's 877-647-2452. Tell me about your mules.
Well, they're 21 and 20 years old. I bought them as a yearling and a 2-year-old,
Okay.
and we get along pretty good.
What do you call them?
Ed and Emma,
Okay. So it's a female and a male.
brother and sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. They do
Yeah.
match good.
yeah. Thank you.
They're working good for you.
They do
I wonder if we
pretty
want to
good.
get out, if I need to have you get out
Sure.
of the way. I don't
Okay. Step up, Ed. Ooh.
You must work them at home.
Yeah, I work my garden with them and heat with wood, and use them in the winter for hauling my firewood in, skidding tops and stuff like that. Rake hay with them and ted a little hay with them and mow a little once in a while with them. And yeah, it's been the best investment I ever made on anything. I wouldn't trade them for a new truck.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're getting old. They ain't worth a whole lot, but they are to me. I like to take my lunch and a thermos of coffee and get in the wagon, and I got a little wagon with a cover on it so I can wagon drive in the winter, and me and the dog takes off and have a wonderful day.
Other traffic pretty good with you on the road?
Most
Sometimes?
of the time. Real big stuff. They've had a little problem with bicycles, but right where I live, I think
Not so many bikes on the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody is playing on their cell phone. They don't ride bicycles no more. I've got an I&J ground drive PTO cart.
Do ya?
I use that with my tedder.
So is that the standard or the heavy duty you got? Do you know?
The standard.
Yeah.
I bought it used over at Dinky's. And,
Okay.
yeah,
Works good.
works good for that.
Yeah.
I've not ever used it for anything else, but
You know, the plowing here is fun. I mean, that's what we come here for. But, you know, just like sitting here talking to everybody,
this is what it's all about. And you know, on the way down here, we broke down with one of the trailers broke down. You know, we was with enough people that somebody knew somebody else, and you know, a couple hours we were on the road again. You know, it's getting to the point where, you know, now we know enough people around that it's just fun to travel and meet with people. And you know, Carrey, I don't know if you've been up to this facility yet, but oh my goodness, I mean, it's just, you couldn't ask for anything more fun than that.
Yeah,
you know, rain, and now we're out here doing this. But so.
How are conditions for you? Better than maybe you might have thought, or something?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I didn't think it was
Might
going
have
to plow
guessed.
this good.
Yeah.
But it's dry enough underneath that it's heavy enough and it's plowing. So.
You're driving 5. Is this the same 5 you drove last year?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah, we got rid of the other 3, so we're down to these 5 now. And hay prices are going crazy.
Yeah, right.
So, only got what you need. And
This the first, you're not plowing at home yet. It's
yeah, we plowed sod for the Stewart Museum. They're gonna have
Okay.
the national or the state corn picking there, so we plowed 6 acres of sod down there.
So that's probably pretty hard to plow.
It was hard to plow.
Yeah. It's been in grass for a long time?
It was never plowed before, and I'll tell you what, first I stuck my plow pretty fast. I had it too deep, and it took a lot of horsepower. So.
When you're doing sod like that, can you hear it popping?
Oh, yeah.
The roots? Yeah.
Yeah, but then he didn't tell us that there was some trees in the middle, so a couple guys hit trees, and we stuck this one in the trees once too. We had to dig it out, but yeah, it was kind of an exciting weekend.
Tell me again where you are.
Columbus, Nebraska.
Okay. And the museum is near you?
Grand Island, about 60 miles. Yep.
Okay. All right. And you guys didn't get hit with all the heavy snow that
No,
like
that
North
was
Dakota and Minnesota
no,
got?
that was straight north of us.
Okay.
About maybe 80 miles north. They had a lot of snow.
Didn't know where to put it all.
No.
And it kept coming.
No, we went up and did a sleigh ride up there, and you know, I thought, well, how can they have snow? And when we got up to the town, I mean, there was snow piles everywhere, and it was just like, wow. But that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
So,
Is this the plow you usually use?
yep,
What kind is it?
international.
Okay.
Yep,
It works good for you.
it does work good. Kind of started switching over to a disc plow now, so
Which is kind of more in South Dakota, kind
Yep.
of.
rockier ground.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I want to try for. I'm ready to go to South Dakota again, up to Humboldt. I've been knocked off the plow enough times up there. I'm ready to take something that I can't get ducked off.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Joe Mishka of Rural Heritage Magazine. I'm on location of one of the many events we cover that celebrates our rural heritage. If you enjoy our show, check out our magazine, where you'll learn more about the people that blend the past with what works today. You can save almost 20% off the newsstand price by subscribing at ruralheritage.com or chat with us at 877-647-2452. That's toll free, 877-647-2452.
Hi, Joe.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Can I visit with the both of you a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. You guys get around quite a bit with your horses, is that
yes,
right?
we do.
Yeah, mostly plow days, that kind of stuff, or heritage festivals?
We plow, mow, and we've been invited for the second year of the Cheyenne Frontier Days. So we're going to do the parade again. Parades again, yeah.
Do you do 3 abreast in those?
Just
No.
a team.
A team,
Yeah.
What do you pull?
It was
Did we pull that?
Something they furnish.
Yeah.
they,
Mhm.
all,
Yeah, they
it's all
have
museum
it,
wagon.
all antique vehicles out of the museum.
We had a little traveling 4-wheel wagon, I think.
Yeah.
But in the grand entry, we pulled the Yellowstone touring car.
Oh, nice.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like to mow hay too.
Yeah.
And,
Wagon trains?
Wagon trains.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do you like fjords?
No. I love
Tell me
fjords.
what you love about fjords.
I like their dispositions and the fact that they like people. And if you can communicate to them what you want done, they really want to do it for you. You know, if you can't, it's probably my fault. You
They're
know.
willing.
They're very willing, and they really like people.
People focused.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Easy
People.
keepers.
Easy keepers,
Easy
too
keeper.
easy.
Yeah, right. Right. You got to be careful throwing hay at it.
Yeah,
letting
yeah.
them on grass, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
they're
like-
beautiful.
Thank you.
What are their names?
This is Dutch, Okie, and Doc. And this is the first time we've plowed with these 3 because the horse I usually use, the furrow's lame. So Doc is getting to be a big boy this weekend.
Oh, he's doing good.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
time the 3 have plowed together.
What is he, 4 or 3 or 4?
He's 5.
He's 5.
Yeah,
Doc?
he just turned 5, yeah. And this was father and son. I used to have the grandfather, but somebody shot him out in the pasture and killed him. So,
Oh no.
yeah, broke my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So geldings.
Yeah, they are now. They
Yeah.
weren't when they got to be father and son, and then they gelded. Then they
So
were
you
gelded.
breed them.
Oh
You
yeah.
raise
Yes.
foals.
I
Nice.
have two. I have a registered mare and a purebred mare.
She's got about 2 ready to
Have
drop
colts
on
in
the ground.
Where I come from in my part of the country, which was lower Alabama, you know, Granddaddy, all the implements they had were all walk behinds. You know, the only thing they had that would ride was a stalk cutter.
Okay.
You know, so I learned on a walking plow, and I don't know, I just kind of always stuck with it, I guess.
Your team's working good for you.
To be 3-year-olds, they're doing real good today.
Yep.
They haven't been out, you know, in public a lot, so they're still kind of shy a little here and there.
Well, they were more bunched up at the beginning. They were tentative.
Right.
And they've
They're
gradually
starting to
gotten more and
relax
more
now.
calmed. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
settling in.
A sharp-looking team.
Thank you. I'm proud of them. A lot of people's come out, you know. I'm glad to see that. You know, a lot of young people coming out too. Well, you know, I have people approach me a lot of times, and they'll say, well, Zach, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? I try to tell them as best I can, but when I get the opportunity, if you can show them, give them a quick video or whatnot, it helps. You know, monkey see, monkey do type thing. And for me, you know, I've told you this before, I feel privileged to have known some of the older heads that has helped me very much, and I feel like I owe it to them to pass it on.
Yep.
And there's a lot of young people, Joe, that wants to do it. Of course, the finances is hard. You know, buying a team, buying a truck, you know, being able to do this and that. But when they do find a team, when they do all that, it's hard for them to learn because there's nobody to teach them.
Right.
You know, so I like the idea, you know, the magazine, the RFD TV, you know, we all can learn from each other. It takes a large span of people and puts them in one place,
Yes, sir.
you know, and it helps us learn. I've learned a ton off of Facebook. You know, a lot of guys on there that's posted videos and how they do things. Man, I've learned a lot.
And there is a lot to learn because there's a lot of ways to do something and a lot of good ways to do the same thing.
Well,
that might be different.
I tell some of my older friends, I said 3 + 2 is 5, but 4 + 1 is 2. You know, there's always more than one way, and somebody is going to know something that you don't know.
I like that a lot.
You know, somebody, even no matter how old they are, a young guy. You know, Skylar, I work with my son. We log, and you know, there's times when he'll do something, and I think, why are you doing it that way? But it's a better way of doing it.
Right. Exactly.
The rural American countryside is still filled with historic old barns built a century or more ago, but they won't be standing forever. To commemorate and capture the images and stories of the old barns, Ohio native Bob Kruger began painting and writing their histories, and that's all come together in a new book called Historic Barns of Ohio. You can get your copy by calling 877-647-2452 or visiting ruralheritage.com. It costs just $23.99 plus $7 shipping. Call 877-647-2452.
I plowed with 6 for a lot of years, and I had one a couple years ago start having some stomach issues of some sort, and I would give him a shot of Banamine and pull him right out of it. And this kept going on for 2 years off and on, and I just got worried about him, and I never really knew how bad he really was until he started showing pain. So 15 minutes after a shot, he'd be up and going again fine. So anyhow, I decided that I didn't want to chance it out on the road like this, so I thought just for his good, I'd put him down. And then I had a 30-year-old mare that I always told her that she'd never leave the farm, and I thought, well, I just put her down too. So I went from 6 to 4 real quick in one day. So been quite a switch for me, and I went back to one bottom plow.
Yep.
But yeah, I
And
love this.
You got a new horse on the front left.
Left front, new horse. He'd never worked in a multiple hitch before. He'd never worked on the front end before. He's plowed a little in the past, and he's disked quite a bit with the guy that had him, good friend of mine. And so far, he's fit right in up there this morning. It's kind of a learning curve for me and him, but I think that he may be okay.
Yeah, looks like he's doing
Hoping
good.
so.
Right. He's got somebody next to him to kind of help him understand what he's doing.
Yeah, that one next to him's a furrow horse all the way, and he stays right in there unless I get to gawking around and pull him out. And this one stays in the furrow. They're both good. But being I put a new one in, I didn't want to switch any of these other ones because they knew where they're supposed to be, even though I haven't plowed since like November or October, November. But I thought, well, the one I put down went up there. I'll just go ahead and put him up there and see what he does.
And he's kind of, I mean, if he was misbehaving, he'd be a little ways away from you, wouldn't he?
That's the thing. I can't reach him.
Right. I mean, you really feel that when something's going wrong, but
Yep.
he's doing good.
Just so he don't turn around and come back to me.
Yes, sir. Well, hopefully his mate will keep him from doing that much. Yeah. It's plowing pretty good for conditions, isn't it?
It's doing real good. That low place back there is really soupy, but like I told Carrey, it'll turn over.
Yeah.
You know, it'll turn
And
over,
it's
and it
laying
is.
right over, and it's making a nice furrow.
This is one time the furrow horses, I think, is enjoying where they're at because they got a solid footing. These others are sinking in back down there. But, yeah, this sure beats real hard and dry ground.
Yes, sir.
Where you have trouble getting them in the ground. I hate that. I'd rather be soft like this any day. But
And it's a perfect day for working horses.
It's a
Nice and sunny and cool.
Teamster
and a nice
too.
breeze. Yes, sir. Teamster too.
and the camera guy.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, we really appreciate you coming out and getting some pictures of guys.
I really appreciate you guys coming out so I could take your pictures. It's a lot more work for you than for me, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
This is a terrific event.
It is.
Really
Carrey does
good people come
a
here.
wonderful job.
Yes, he does.
He's one of the best hosts I go out to.
Yeah.
Always look forward to his. This is his 6th year, and it's a good deal.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, they're doing good. They're doing good for you. You could fall asleep. Good job. This program is available for purchase. To order your copy, please call 319-362-3027 or visit www.ruralheritage.com. Rural Heritage is a bi-monthly magazine dedicated to draft animal farming and logging, as well as other aspects of our rich rural heritage. It is published by Mishka Press, which also offers a complete line of back-to-the-land books, DVDs, and calendars. Call or write for a catalog or subscription information, or visit our website at www.ruralheritage.com.